in Job chapter 41 in the King James Version. Oh, and take note of the behemoth. Yep, take note, because that's going to come up again. Let's continue to read in Job chapter 41 in the King James Version. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? A quick note, there's some printing errors here. It's kind of interesting, kind of funny. Okay, continue on. Will he make any supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down, even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. By his neesing, a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride. Okay, so take note of the Leviathan as well. There's a lot here. The Lord is talking about even more things of that we don't understand. We don't understand. And we don't see reason. So we don't understand, nor do we see reason. So listen to what the Lord is saying. In the first verse, canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? In verse 5, wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? To verse 9, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down, even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? So he's talking about a creature, Leviathan, whom a lot of Bible scholars, a lot of people believe is like a giant, long dragon type, but or fish type, or a large, very large fish type under the sea. So, and then the Lord goes on to describe that his scales are so hard nothing can pierce it, and that he has fire that can come out of his nostrils. And yeah, there's a lot of description there, and I'm sure it's like a lot. And so he's described the behemoth, which is the giant beast, a giant beast on the face of the earth. And then he's described another thing that's under the waters. And he's saying, with this thing, who would dare even try to disturb this thing? What man would try to even disturb this thing that would not be afraid? And if it were to happen to be upon you, you couldn't stand up to it. How much more could you stand in the Lord's presence? The Lord is holy. No one can stand. No one, not one. And you will find that out as we continue to read, particularly when we get to Ezekiel. Majority of when there's the Lord's presence, it's immediate ground. It's immediate. And so he's telling him that there's also more to this. There's also more to this in these descriptions. He's saying that all of this stuff, like in verse 22, and his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. He's talking about all of these things, but he's also talking about his banner over us. There's a way to look at this as well, to understand that he created these things, but he created us in his image. And he loves us so much in that he is the defender, that he is God, he is almighty. And what is the fear of the Lord? Knowing that he is all power, all glory, holy, all holy, the good shepherd, the redeemer, the provider of our salvation. He is the Alpha and the Omega. He is wisdom. He is love. He is our God. And believing in him, we have, even with these frightening and terrors things that even make us look at our own mortality, right? That we have a God who created all things. And he wants us to know that. And that's why he's speaking directly to Job. And guess what? Bringing past to present, he can speak directly to us. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?